Thank you for the introduction, Anna and Miha. Thank you very much. So, dear colleagues, dear friends, dear Clear Language champions and enthusiasts, good morning. I'm delighted and honored to be opening this Clear Language conference, a prelude to Translating Europe Forum 2025. And I'd like to thank, first of all my colleagues in DGT for the splendid job that they have been doing in preparing all this. We'll see how it pans out, but it promises quite well. But first of all, let me start by welcoming all of you, those who are tuning online, and all those who are here in the room today and managed to come, some of you probably despite the drones which were hovering over some Belgian airports. So good that you're here. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our friends from Plain Language Association International and from Clarity for joining us. Many of you have traveled across oceans to be here with us today, at least a couple of you. And I'm both glad and grateful for you to making the trip. I'm looking forward to hearing Julie Clément and Lodewijk van Noort, the presidents of Clarity and Plain, deliver their keynote speech. Putting clear language center stage at a global event like TEF makes perfect sense. And after all, in many ways, clear language and translation are two sides of the same coin. Both are about conveying messages as clearly, as accurately, and as effectively as possible. And this year, we are bringing clear language and translation issues together under the same one theme, which is quality matters. But why should we care about making language clear? Why does quality matter? Simply because language is how we understand the world. It is how businesses and public bodies like the EU institutions explain what they do, and how people make decisions about their lives, about their health, their rights, their money, their future. So clear language helps us navigate those decisions more easily. And in doing so, it makes a tangible difference to our lives. At least this is what I think. And in the case of the European Union, we are talking about 400 million people in 27 countries speaking at least 24 official languages. All of them with the right to know what the EU is doing and why. It's not the privilege of knowing, not a luxury. It's their right to know. For businesses, communicating in clear and accurate language means fewer errors, higher customer satisfaction, and greater efficiency. And for us at the EU institutions, it means making sure that everyone in the EU is clear about what their rights are, what their obligations, and what their opportunities are. And this is why the European Parliament, the Council of the European Union, and the European Commission have made the joint commitment to deliver high-quality EU legislation that is efficient, effective, simple, and clear. And this commitment comes from a deep understanding that EU laws and rules are not just made for people, they are made with people. From consumer rights to environmental protections, from cross-border healthcare to digital privacy. So, if a small business owner in Spain, or a student in Poland, or a pensioner in Ireland cannot understand the rules because they are written in convoluted legalese language, they have a problem. And the EU has a problem too. Because we need laws that everyone can follow, that everyone can understand. And we need services that everybody can use. and institutions that everybody can trust. We cannot, however, maintain trust or build it if we hide behind unclear language. One person who understood quite or very well was this point was the great author and clear language champion George Orwell. He once said, "The great enemy of clear language is insincerity." In other words, we must always seek to communicate clearly, honestly, and transparently with our reader, with our audience. Honesty and transparency alongside clarity are vital in these uncertain times where public trust is fragile and where mis- or disinformation are rampant and people feel increasingly disconnected from decision makers at every level. This is dangerous. So we owe it to the people we represent to communicate to them in a language that respects their intelligence, that values their time, and that encourages their involvement. And this is why I think that this morning's conference on clear language is very important. And this brings me also to talk about actually the heart of my message, that clear language is not a nice to have, it's a must have. And it is the bedrock of trust, of transparency and accountability, especially for us here in the EU institutions. In other words, language that is clear, concise and inclusive helps support a democratic society which is healthy, open and fair. And with all this in mind, the EU is constantly striving to do more and do better in encouraging the colleagues who draft material to use clear language in their daily work. So all these officials scattered in the different offices and departments, especially of the Commission. Later this morning, we will hear from Angelika Vasa from the European Parliament and Shona Doherty from the Council of the European Union. And they will outline some of the work that they're also doing to promote clear language in their respective institutions. This will be part of a broader discussion, which will also involve Neil James from the International Plain Language Federation and Jeroen Aspeslach from our DG Translation here at the Commission. We are delighted to have the support for our efforts from the highest level here in DGT, in the Commission. Because Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has called for the information that we provide to the public to be clear, consistent and transparent, very clearly in one of her mandates. So this support for us coming from top is crucial, because in order for us to build a lasting, clear language culture, we need everybody in the Commission to be on board. And the Commission's commitment to build a clear language culture starts with quality editing services. Our expert editors review and improve colleagues' text and online material with a clear language focus. So they are also on hand to answer questions via an email service when colleagues in other DGs, in other departments of the Commission, need a kind of quick helpline. Then we also have, created by our editing unit, we have a flagship product which is called Claire's Tips. Every Friday morning, more than 18,000 colleagues in the Commission and other EU institutions receive an email with a tip which is focusing on a specific aspect of clear language. So this happens every Friday morning. And these light-hearted tips are carrying, in any case, a more serious message, which is Basically, that clear language is something that we must keep striving for to achieve every day. Because in our busy lives, we can sometimes forget to keep our texts clear, concise, reader-focused, and jargon-free. So we need to keep reminding ourselves of the basic principles that will make our communication with the public and with each other clearer and more effective. So, at the Commission, we seek to promote clear language as a shared responsibility and as a common goal. In our view, therefore, everybody has their part to play in promoting clear language, regardless of the jobs we do or the subjects we deal with every day, and regardless of the rank. Naturally, I would say that in a multilingual organization like the Commission, translators have their part to play as well. Here again, we see how clear language and translation can work hand in hand, because a high-quality original text written in a clear language is key to delivering also a high-quality translation. And therefore, editors and clear language practitioners are pivotal in helping deliver those texts. And our translators play a vital role in conveying the meaning of a source text in another language. Therefore, together, clear language and translation help make democracy work in 24 languages. So, as I said at the start of my speech, celebrating clear language and translation at the same event makes a lot of sense, makes perfect sense. Over the next 3 days, we will, but as said, it's a continuous process, no? So we will be exploring over the next 3 days various issues that affect both disciplines, translation and editing. And one major issue is, of course, I cannot not name it, artificial intelligence. I think that the EU was quite quick in understanding the huge impact of AI and in almost every aspect of our lives. And it was also quick to bring to the world the first comprehensive legal framework on AI. Because the EU wants to make AI trustworthy, safe, and a source of innovation from which anybody or everybody can benefit. Working closely with partners from across the Commission and other institutions, DG Translation is at the forefront of the Commission's efforts to develop a range of AI-based services for drafters and translators. And these services are available to all colleagues in the Commission and beyond. We will hear more about AI services for clear language at one of our 3 breakout sessions later this morning. And the other 2 breakout sessions will cover equally important topics. The first of them will look at clear language and the media, and the other, with a focus on economic and social policy, will examine the cost of not being clear. Dear colleagues and friends, the cost of not being clear is a cost. So this is the thought that I would like to leave you with this morning. I think that not being clear comes with a financial cost at least, and at political cost as well. So it is a cost that we cannot afford, as simple as that. Instead, we must keep reaping the rewards that comes from us using clear language, all of us. So on that note, I wish you all a rich and rewarding time in this morning's Clear Language Conference and throughout these days at the TEF 2025. Thank you very much.